guys, this is Fault Kid, and welcome to a video. And also, yes, I did have my short hair. I did have a haircut, cut really short though. Which, well, I mean, it was short though, but I just haven't got time and had the feeling to make have the chance to make a video of my haircut and everything. But here you go. So as you can see, I got my haircut shorter. So yeah, I know it's not really that short though. On the video though, but I had this haircut last Friday, so that's how it's a little grown. So just let you know. But I just haven't got a chance to make a video or whatever reviews, whatever, with my haircut being short. So yeah, but it's not that bad though. So I just like it short anyways now. So due to the hot weather and everything. So yep. Anyway, I better stop playing my hair. Let's just go ahead and get to a video. Now this is not a review or anything. This is just a look back of a movie. Yeah, but whether I have opinions changed or it's the same opinion on and stuff like that, right? But anyway, without further ado, let's just go and get this video started. And today I'm going to be looking back at a movie that, for some reason, used to be my favorite for some reason though, but it's no longer now though. But maybe it is just one of my favorite animated movies though, but not my all-time favorite animated though. But I mean, it used to be, but especially at the time, it still was when it turned 10 years old at the time. So, and as of course, the 2010 movie from Lionsgate, Alpha and Omega. Yep. So Alpha and Omega came out in 2010, stars Justin Long, Hayden Panettiere, Dennis Hopper, Danny Glover. Yeah. But yeah. So Alpha and Omega, before I look back and give you my opinions and thoughts on it, I'll just get to the plot though. I know it is sound like a review by mention the plot though, but it's not meant to be though. Now, of course, with the plot with Alpha and Omega, yes, we have Humphrey and his friends, doing this log writing, We've got Kate and her sister, Lily, yep. Yeah, with their Alpha, and Humphrey, those Omegas, because Kate's an Alpha, right, and Humphrey's an Omega, of course, yeah. So, and then Winston, Kate's father, told Humphrey Alpha and Omegas can't be together and stuff like that, right, but yeah. But yeah, so years later, so later on, so Kate's hunting with the eastern wolves, before the caribou happening, right, and then what the caribou scene, I'll have to get to that later. Now the caribou, while it's running, Kate saves the eastern wolves, and just fight against them, her and her alpha wolf's pack, right, and of course, right, and then Tony, of course, played by Dennis Hopper, right, Garth's father. So Tony won't want Garth to marry Kate, right? Well, I mean, Kate to marry Garth, right? So yeah, so her and Garth are alphas, right? Well, because Garth is the alpha, so Of course, we got we had this wonderful moment that I do agree with. We got a Garth and Lily moment, right? Which I think that moment was great, though, in our minds. And I have to agree with somebody that is the best moment in this movie, though. But yeah, I had to agree with that, and I can see why people like that better than Kate and Humphrey's moment. So I can see why though. But yeah. So what else was I trying to say? Yeah. Now, of course, Humphrey, doing an interruption with, talking to Kate, between Kate and Garth, right? And of course, Garth had this that howl that sounded so bad, and he sounded very bad though. And yeah, I gotta say. And then Kate goes far away from Garth, and Humphrey randomly shows up, and Yeah, of course, right? And then Kate and Humphrey, they both get tranquilized, or tranquilized, right? With the tranquilizer dart, from the tranquilizer gun, yeah. So they both get taken to Idaho from Jasper, Canada to Idaho, right? So they both take to Idaho, and they met with the goose, or the, what do you call it? That goose named Marshall, and we got the duck named Patty, right? So they both tell them that they're in Idaho to be repopulated, right? So yeah, that they make like puppies and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And I can't believe I just literally understand what that means earlier, back when I first watched that movie. I mean, I asked my mom what it means, and she said, well, to make puppies and stuff like that, right? But yeah, it's kind of funny that I hear that part, yeah. I know it's quite funny to hear, though, but I know kids shouldn't listen to that kind of stuff, and yeah. But anyway, now, when Kate's not returned yet, whatever, it's about, like, it comes to, like, go against each other, right? But the Alpha and the Eastern wolves go against each other, right? So yeah. So Kate and Humphrey made it back to Jasper, Canada, and and also before all that, yeah, Garth's howling got a little better, got really better though. Sounds much better than we thought though. Yeah, literally taught how to do that, right? And it sounds really good though. But I gotta say, yeah. So now what I'm trying to say, yeah, now they got back home, and yeah, just they both reunite the pack, and yeah, so, and then Kate realized he fell in love a lot with Humphrey than Garth, right? So, and then they made the pack go against each other, right? So, taking the rally, right before the caribou showed up, and the caribou shows, So now, so both of the wolves, the pack, got back, and then unfortunately, Winston and Tony, was still attacked by the caribou. So I mean, they try to get out, and Kate and Humphrey have the logs in the way for them to save them, and unfortunately, Kate gets hit in the head by the caribou, and and Humphrey and Winston and Tony, just. But so all the wolves howling, and Kate woke up somehow, and she's, and it just started, and all the packs decided to let go and decided to let the Alpha and Omegas be together, right? Like Kate and Humphrey are together, and Lily and Garth became together as well, right? Yep. So yeah, we got this really wonderful moment with the wolves howling, and yeah, and then of course we got Kate and Humphrey, Hal married as well. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the plot, though. I know it sounds like a review, though. I'm not trying to make it like a review, though, but I think it's okay to maybe I don't know how to do this with that look back at it, right? But let me just talk about with the jokes and everything, right? I can see why people complain about it. And I agree with it. So, also with that tranquilizer scene with Kate gets shot, and Humphrey gets shot as well. By looking back at it as an adult, I'm like, yeah, I can see why people complain about this movie. Yeah, I can see why people complain about a lot about it. Of course, Humphrey, drooling, right? And then Kate just says something like, I'll meet you around the Milky Way, right? That's what it sounds like, right? When I was a kid watching that, I used to think it was funny, right? And I never thought it has that type of humor jokes, right? I never thought about it though, but as an adult right now though, I realize it's yeah, I do realize it's kind of adult joke though. I can tell that it is an adult type of way, right? Yeah, I can see why parents and other people complain about this joke, right? The humor and everything, yeah. And there are some adult jokes in this movie, right? Yeah, I can see why people are complaining about it. Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, I do agree that a lot of people that it shouldn't, that there are a bunch of adult jokes in this movie, though. I do agree with that. I mean, I agree with it now, so I say it over and over, but you know. And have I seen this movie in theaters? No. The truth is, no, I didn't. I did put comments in. I do remember seeing this movie, which is not true whatsoever. So I put comments, you know, saying I've seen it in theaters, but that's not true though. But it's for what I'm saying, it's a lie. So I don't know why I lied though. I just did, but just so you know, yeah, it was a lie. What I'm saying, so. Yeah, that was a lie for what I'm saying, you know, but yeah. But yeah, so also this is the Blu-ray version though, which I had this like about five years ago. I remember picking this up at Walmart for $5 though. I remember picking this up though, and yeah, so sorry, something falling off the table, but anyway, yeah, the codes. Yeah, believe it or not, I actually used it, by the way, for my cell phone, just to watch it anywhere, but, you know. Here's the both DVD and the Blu-ray, by the way, so here's the Blu-ray right here, so. Oh, crap, let me put that thing back in here real quick. Yeah, I just used it as a copy, of course, you know. Yeah, so here's how I'm going to make it for you. But yeah. But yeah, so I can see the. Okay, I've seen the parent guide for this movie saying there's like blood and gore stuff like that, which is not really true though, because except there's some scratch wound on the side of Kandu's neck though, or side whatever, but. I mean, it's only just a scratch part on his neck or side, right? But yeah, I remember seeing that as a kid, looking at that. I'm like, dang, but like I said before, though, I didn't see it. I did not see it in the theater. The truth is, by the way, I remember renting this movie from the local video store. I mean, no one in Blockbuster or anything though. It was I forget what the name of the video place called though, but it was a really great video store though. Before it was changed to another store, like a women thing, whatever. But it was a really great place to rent movies, right? A DVD or a Blu-ray movie. So yeah. But dang, I kind of miss that place though. But anyway. But yeah, without Mega, yeah. But yeah, I did first watch the movie on DVD when it first came out around January, right? I think January or February when this came out, I believe. Yeah, I remember renting it from the place, so then I ended up picking that up at Target for, you know, on DVD though. So I picked that one up, and you know, so I got rid of the regular DVD, you know, about a month ago. So because I don't think I need it though, because you know. I just stick to what I have, right? So, and by the way, this movie is going to turn 15 years old, right? So this movie's turning 15 years old, and I think I'm definitely going to plan on making a 15th anniversary to this movie, from 2010 up till 2025, right? It's quite crazy because I was only 11 at the time when this came out. Of course, I was still 11 when this came out on DVD. Yeah, of course, and yeah. About months before 2012, right? So it's crazy though. So, but yeah, and like I said, yes, I was 11. You know, 11-year-old kid, wanted to go see it badly in theaters, but I just didn't get the chance to. All right, but yeah. So 11-year-old me, you know, wanted to go see it, but didn't. But finally, got to watch it on DVD instead. So yeah. But just so you know, so it did make some money. Yes, it did. So. It did make a lot of money, or not a lot of money, but it did make money though. Back when it came out though, it did. But yeah, it did have like a 18, 19, or 20% Rotten Tomatoes before I looked up, right? But I don't know if it's still there. I don't know if it's still that score or not though. But I'll have to look it up though. I think it's got like a 5 point something on IMDb, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it does have a 5 on IMDb and 20% Rotten Tomatoes as well. So it's quite crazy to hear. So. But yeah, so I know, well, what I'm trying to say. I thought about. Oh yeah, the sequels. It should not be made in the first place. I can agree with y'all. I used to like the sequels back when they keep making movies, sequels, right? I mean, I was only a teenager at the time when they keep making sequels. Like, I was around like 14, 15, 16, or 17 years old. Or maybe 18 at the time when they keep making sequels, right? Well, actually, no. I remember The Great Wolf. I was in my teenage years when they keep... Throughout my teenage years, they can't make it sequels, which is crazy to hear, right? But I know, I mean, it's just crazy though. I mean, like we have Alpha and Omega 2, Howling Day Adventure, you know, the Great Wolf games, Legend of the Solitude Cave, Family Vacation, Dino Digs, yeah, the Big Furries, and of course, Journey to Bear Kingdom, yeah. And I do remember hearing there's like a bunch of fan rumors and everything saying there's going to be a TV show in 2018 for some reason, but I'm like, this can't be happening, right? But like, I remember they're saying there's going to be a TV show in 2018 on Cartoon Network, but luckily it was just a rumor. Plus, it never happened. It was fake, right? Fake news, right? How we know it's fake, you may ask, is because that I remember looking at Cartoon Network's website and nothing's here though. Plus, we got like a tweet from the replacement actor for Humphrey. No, it wasn't just along. It was another actor named Ben something. I forget though. He's saying it was a likely fake, which turns out to be true. So, yep, it was fake though. There's no such thing as an Alpha and Omega TV show whatsoever. Plus, never happened anytime soon. I'm like, dang, thank goodness for that. I mean, there's no reason for him to make that, right? But just, you know, another thing, there's also another rumor for some reason saying there's going to be an Alpha and Omega VR game on a VR headset, right? But that never happened either. So, it was from some guy named, what was it called? Zach Coley, I think it was. I don't know if I'm not sure if he's going to see the video or not though, but the guy named Zach Coley is saying that there's going to be an Alpha and Omega VR game, but that never happened either, just so you know. But I'm not sure why would that be a thing, you know, but, you know, I don't know if Zach Coley's going to see the video or not, but I remember leaving a comment or a message to Zach Coley on the FanPop fan page saying that, dude, it's not going to happen, okay? I'm sorry, but, you know, I remember sending that message to Zach Coley, but apparently he hasn't sent anything to me yet, so, I mean, he hasn't sent any message, he hasn't messaged me back for some reason, so, yeah, he hasn't replied to me, though, he hasn't, but I don't know if he might have did or not, and just agree with me on that, if it's fake, though. I mean, I don't know why Zach Coley thinks that for some reason, but it never happened. I just don't know if he's going to see the video or not, but saying there's going to be an Alpha and Omega VR game, but that never happened either, like I said. But one more rumor saying there's going to be an Alpha and Omega, another Alpha and Omega sequel called Tropical Adventure. What, basically like a ninth Alpha and Omega now? Yeah, for some reason, yeah, but I quite knew it's not going to happen, but, well, sometimes not, though, but luckily not, because, yeah, apparently it's not going to be an Alpha and Omega sequel. I'm like, okay, thank goodness for that, because there's definitely no such thing as an Alpha and Omega Tropical Adventure, which was a sequel, right, but it turns out it's not real, nothing, so thank goodness for that either. But yeah, so three of these things are just a bunch of rumors for Alpha and Omega. I mean, but yeah. Yeah, for Alpha and Omega, yeah. I think it's better that this movie, it should be like just be one movie. But look about all these sequels, it shouldn't exist in the first place. So I cannot believe we've just been asking for these sequels. I used to think it would be a good idea for making Alpha and Omega 2, just one or two sequels though, but I mean, it's just a crazy thing that we think making sequels would be a good idea, right? But apparently not. So no. But I'm like, okay, as an adult, well, better to stick to this movie. So it's better to pretend that this movie is only have one movie, right? But yeah, this the franchise, right? But yeah. So Alpha and Omega, from 2010. Let's see, a fun film movie the whole pack can enjoy. Yeah, that's what it says on the back. So, but yeah, the animation, it's not too bad in my mind. I thought it looked decent though. I didn't think the animation looked that bad though compared to the sequel animation. By looking at it, I mean, I kind of wish one day people could look back on this movie saying, well, this movie's not too bad though. At least it's a lot better than the sequels, right? Well, since we used to hate this movie, right? But actually, no. People can hate what they want. I mean, yeah, people can still hate this movie though. Go ahead. I mean, I'm not stopping them. I mean, just go ahead. What you said, all right? But all you gotta do is respect people's opinion on this movie. Right? Well, okay, yeah. I mean, Richard Rich, I thought he did a pretty decent, good job in this movie though. For why this is a guilty pleasure movie is because, but looking back at this movie though, I used to think it's not good for me, or it's not good for me. What am I trying to say? I used to think this movie is no longer my cup of tea anymore. I used to stop liking it, but I rewatched it again. I'm like, okay, now I really like it now, so it's a guilty pleasure. Right? I know it doesn't make sense though, but it's just me though, so don't worry about that. But yeah, it's a part of a guilty pleasure, and it's my childhood. Part movie as well though, so but yeah, it is a part of my childhood as well though. 11 or 12-year-old me watching this movie though is crazy. Yes, I will eventually make a 15th anniversary of this movie. I mean, like Bob's show for example, I know he's not gonna make a 15th anniversary of this movie. I know he won't because he's not a fan of this movie though. I know that, which is a good reason, but he hates all the sequels, which I agree with. I no longer like any of the sequels whatsoever either. So, I mean, I wouldn't blame him not making an anniversary of this movie. I won't blame him since he already made all 8 reviews of this movie, though. I mean, oh crap, I was about to drop this movie on the floor, but yeah, I was gonna say, busting my butt off, laughing at Bob's show, pointing the middle finger at the Alpha and Omega during the Bear Kingdom, I mean, that's quite funny though. I know maybe it's not good for me to bring these up, but hey, I'm just saying. But yeah, I haven't watched Bob's show for a long time though. I just stopped supporting him. For some, I just lost interest with him. But I mean, I do like him as a person and a YouTuber though. But I mean, I just stopped supporting him. Just for no reason. I mean, I don't know though, but well, I still like his videos regardless. But I don't know. I'll have to, yeah. I know he's not gonna make a 15th anniversary to this, so I know he won't though. But it doesn't matter because people don't have to like what I like, right? Or what people like, right? But yeah, I know. Just for people who like Alpha and Omega so much, I'm glad. I mean, I quite liked it just for a good movie though, but I mean, I don't really quite love it as much though, what I thought though back then. I do like it still though. I still think it was a great movie though. Plot good or great, I mean, not making sense though, People hate this movie, then that's okay. Guess what? We're all good. As long as you respect our opinions, then we're all good, alright? If you hate the movie, then I understand you, alright? Just respect my opinion, I respect yours back, and please respect other people's opinions as well, and I respect yours for anybody, okay? Alright? But seriously though, all I gotta do is respect others, alright? So, but anyway, you guys, thanks for watching though. I know it's a very long video, yes it is, unfortunately, I get it, alright? I know I shouldn't make this video that long, okay? I know I see problems with this movie though, I look back on it. And yes, I did see a lot of problems with the sequels though, which I do definitely agree with. So, I stopped liking the sequels though, so I hope you're happy with it. But yeah, I know it's quite funny to hear, but yeah. So, this is a 25-minute video, yes, I know that, alright? I get it, okay? So, thank you so much for watching, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video or so. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And, yeah, and I'll see you guys later in the next video, so hope you guys have a wonderful day, guys. Peace out, people. and team with respect.